Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the T.O.A podcast. I am your host, Onvermel.
As usual.
Oh, yes. There's not been a podcast where I have not shown up for it yet. That'd be the day that you hack into my account and basically record a podcast with Zach and be like, have just a surprise video.
Yeah, that'd pretty much be the only way we could do it.
Which probably wouldn't be that hard in all honesty if you just got access to my computer. I'm sure if you actually had, you could probably get into it.
It depends how good your password is.
But no, it's just us today. By this time this one's come out, the launcher test video should have already been out. I just want to quickly address that first off. If you haven't seen it, go check it out because I'm really had a lot of fun doing that with the bros.
Hey, I had a fair bit of fun too.
We all did. I think we all had fun. It was nice to actually do something out in front of a camera, actually doing something.
And to just play with Bionicles again.
Yeah, so I got the chance
even
to
if some of them got a little,
kicked.
A few shoe marks on him.
He deserves it. But go check it out.
Mantax is practically pristine.
I know at the beginning of that video I said basically we were going to test 3 different things. Well, when originally we did that opening, we were planning to do everything in one go. I'm going to break them into 3 videos for the different things. I kind of specified that in the title and the description, and I might quickly edit it before it's because I'm recording this before that video is up, so I can maybe quickly change something if I have the energy to do it.
You can always just tack on a part 1.
That's what I did for the title, just as part 1.
Oh, well, there you go.
So if people were confused about that. So please check it out. And moving on to the topic of today. The topic that we are going to be sitting on. Lego as gifts, presents, bestowed upon us from friends and family.
In other words,
aunts and
free
uncles,
Lego.
Cousins and friends.
There's a little joke there.
Because let's be honest, 80% of the gifts we've received over like Christmases and birthdays were Lego.
Yeah,
I think that's a fair
about 80%, but
at least when we were younger.
We certainly wished it was.
Well, there's definitely some years where 80% was the standard for Christmas gifts. And birthdays, I find usually was about 2 out of 3 or 50-50.
Yeah, very 50-50.
Except for that one birthday, I didn't get Lego. I got a watch.
I think that
was a very interesting birthday.
That was my 18th birthday. No Lego.
The one where
got a bookshelf.
I believe it was.
Don't regret it.
Wasn't my 11th birthday? I think I got the watch. It was like one of those few birthdays where I just didn't get Lego, and I wasn't really sad about it because I got a cool watch. I did find Lego that day. I found a flame piece, like a fire flame.
That counts as free Lego.
It was very nice, and I think later that same weekend I found a white 2x2 round plate, so I was able to put the flame in there. It was very nice. It was very nice.
Yes, I remember that camping trip somewhat.
Was that the one where Hal won? No, that was a Cypress Hill one. Because the one when we went to Jasper, Hal one didn't come along with us.
Yes.
And that one I did also find Lego. I believe I found a white helmet in that one. But it was that birthday that I got the Island Extreme Stone with Snap and Pepper and the Jabba's Prize #1. So with the Bib Fortuna and the droids.
Good times.
That whole trip was a blur. Like, I remember getting those sets there, but I don't really remember it. Honestly, birthday Lego gifts, I don't remember getting them near as well because the trip. Cause I always got lucky that my birthdays landed on a camping trip. So the whole event of the camping trip usually kind of was easier to remember than my birthday. I might remember what I got for my birthday, but it doesn't leave an impact like Christmas gifts or like basically if I get Lego gifts nowadays. Which, speaking of, I actually got a Lego Statue of Liberty keychain yesterday from a coworker of mine because he just got, or an old coworker of mine because he just got back from visiting New York and decided to pick one up. I'm like, oh, you shouldn't have. Like, you really shouldn't have. He's a sweet guy. I added to my keychain collection. I don't know if I want that actually on my keychain because that headpiece is kind of pointy.
Yeah, but it's a little more soft and rubbery, isn't it?
The last Statue of Liberty's hairpiece?
I can't.
I don't remember.
Neither do I.
You own the fig.
Yeah, and I think the headgear is.
I don't remember being rubbery, but I could be wrong. It was
either
late
way,
at
it's
night.
not that sharp.
No, but still, I still have a wolf keychain on there, so.
How many figs like just pants and hands was probably just as sharp.
Good point. But yeah, no. Thinking about Lego gifts, we got plenty. Pretty much when we turned 18.
The parents stopped giving us Lego.
They're basically like
for our birthdays, at least.
Christmas
kind of petered out a little bit.
Pretty much as adults now, we don't expect Lego from gifts unless it's between like the 3 of us and Hal one.
There's kind of an unwritten rule by some people that we're not allowed to ask for Lego for
Just
Christmas.
for I'm sorry, had a
Well, she was doing that long before, but also the lost T.O.A. is kind
our
of
parents. I mean, that's fair because a lot of people, despite us not caring if we get duplicates,
because we have like a secret Santa for Christmas. We get one of our siblings. There's a lot of us, especially now with all the us that are married.
Yeah,
and our parents are part of it.
Yeah, so they basically is like there's the unwritten rule that like you don't particularly ask for Lego for Christmas, which honestly as all being adults we don't really need to.
We can just buy our own if we need Lego, right?
Plus, it's like
But it's so much nicer to get it for free because that means you don't have to buy it yourself.
That's where you conveniently get living with like someone else. You can be like, okay, I'm living with this person. I'll get him a Christmas present, which will prompt them to get me a Christmas present, which will probably then be Lego
or booze.
or boo. Yeah, pretty much.
There are two go-to
since you
things.
and me were roommates, like before we moved out, but when we were roommates, pretty much like the first 2 years was like, the first year and a half I think was Lego, and then everything just started turning to booze for gifts. It was always, but I mean that was almost the last minute because I would always be like,
with what we're doing anyways, booze is probably cheaper.
it lasts well.
A bottle of booze versus a Lego set. The booze is probably cheaper because there's no shipping involved. First off.
Yeah, because I would say normally I go for about a $50 set if I'm going to buy Lego for someone.
And your booze bottles only like $35.
That is true. That is true.
Unless you go for the $50. Or if you go for the really cheap, like it's hard to find cheap Lego sets.
You don't get discounted Lego sets like you used to, which is why
unless it's crappy stuff like video.
See, when we were young, we were lucky that because like when we were younger, our parents were able to find a lot of discounted Lego. Which
we were also
we were
young at the right time because the early 2000s Lego was not selling well.
And even like till like the early right before up to the 2010s, you could still get discounted Lego pretty easily at like stuff like places like Zellers that were closing down, places like Sears that was like
closing down.
because like during the like once Lego started getting better, there were still plenty of places that just weren't making a business because like I basically got started my Power Mario collection at Sears. I believe.
Well, I think that was Sears. A bit of it was Sears, but it was like Christmas.
But it was also after Christmas, but they were all really cheap.
Christmas, it was Boxing Day sale.
But like nowadays, you don't get good Boxing Day sales at like for Lego.
Nah, maybe the odd one or two sets that may interest us.
They said they want to get off the shelf. It's kind of the Boxing Day sales now, but no.
I mean, Toys R Us, I think, still has sales on every now and then of stuff.
That's one reason why getting Lego is hard for Christmas presents. Last year, though, I skirted around that for a Zacta. I got him a Clone Brand set. Don't get me wrong. This is the weirdest Clone Brand set I've ever seen. If anyone remembers the newest Space Police 3 that came out in 2009, or Space Police, the largest ship in that wave, the Galactic Enforcer, awesome Clone Brand had created like a scaled down replica of it, which honestly was really cool. Everything else in that theme was garbage, which means whoever designed that Clone Brand set had a fondness for that specific Lego set. Was like, you know what? I work for this Clone Brand, and I'm gonna make it scaled down.
Except they had pirate steering wheels as part of that model.
The engines,
but they were still brown, so
it wasn't perfect, but it was such a weird oddity because like usually when you see like knockoff sets, it's like
they're either straight up ripoffs or they're utter garbage,
or they're basically trying to create something their own but using parts from something else. This was like someone was generally a fan of Lego, really liked this set, and decided, you know what, I'm not going to recreate this set. I'm going to make a scaled down version of the set that still looks like
Make it more affordable for the kiddies.
It was so weird.
And dirt
But because that was also a set that Zach Tab, the original one, the Galactic Enforcer from Lego, was one of his like set that he really wanted, he got for Christmas, and it was very much a set that we associate with him. I was like, you know what, I got to get him this Clone Brand set because I bet he'd love it. Well,
he definitely gave us
ironically love us. It's an ironic love.
Zacta definitely gave us a look.
Yes, he was kind of confused, but then I think it kind of clicked in why he got it. I mean, I believe I only got you like a smaller Lego set too. Like I didn't get you guys much. I know that birthday I got you the Minecraft boat, fire boat.
Yes.
Which if I got them a year earlier, it would not have worked as a gift because a year earlier I don't think I had played Minecraft yet at that point or something.
Probably not. I mean, you would start playing Minecraft. I've always eyed it.
You always had a disdain for Minecraft Lego. You thought it was redundant.
And then you actually started playing Minecraft. I'm like, okay, I don't disdain it as much as I used to.
I mean, it's pretty much on the way out too now as well.
I mean, looking at the pirate boat all the time, I was like, I kind of want it, but I could just never get myself to buy it. So it's a good thing this Onvermel here.
So I did it for you. See, that's the best thing about when people you can get Lego gifts for someone. It's like, okay, I don't quite feel like buying this myself because I can't quite justify spending my own extra money on this. But if someone got me as a gift, I'd love it.
Getting things as gifts can often set a person down a path. Look at me, for example. My first birthday Lego set. My 4th birthday, it was a pirate minifig set. This was my second Lego set. My first one was also pirate. Obviously, I didn't buy it because I was 3 years old. And a couple years later, I got a pirate ship as a Christmas present.
Yeah, you were. I mean, it was a lot of like earlier sets.
Like a lot
had
of
boats
seeds
in
were.
them.
Yeah, I had a lot of. Like my first 4 or 5 Christmases, like, oh, I got a boat for that Christmas. I got a boat for that Christmas.
Like a town boat, a castle boat, a pirate boat, all different kinds of boats. Don't get us
One
wrong.
was just a little raft, even, but yeah, there's definitely a thing for boats, and it has definitely flourished. I love building pirate ships and boats and such.
And then the gifts that will set you on a different path, such as getting Galador. That was one of those few cases where I got a present, and I was just like, it didn't help that I got Nick and Zach Tag got Gorm. He got the purple one. That's the thing that still confuses me. When I was always a kid, everyone always knew I was purple. Like, it was very consistent.
Perhaps it was just a legitimate mix-up. Maybe you were supposed to get the purple
Or it wasn't purple
one.
enough that was, like, obviously purple.
Yeah, with the packaging, it may have been a
But
little
let's be
hard
honest,
to tell.
in our family, the older sibling always got the cooler stuff. Every time. Because I was annoyed. I got stuck behind you and Zach 2 years in a row because in 2003, you got Makuta and he got Takanuva. All I got was the trade box that came in. I don't even have that anymore, and I regret that.
I have that trade box.
But then the next year,
it.
he gets Knight's Castle Wall, and you get Flag Siege Engine. What do I get? Nothing.
These sets are 2 packs.
Exactly. See,
you can't split them 3 ways.
Why do you think in 2001 I got those KK1 sets to make up for lost time in advance? Like, the thing is, pretty much anything that I got, someone already had. Or, like, the coolest ones were always, like... That was the thing about being the 5th boy in a family of boys liking Lego. Which why that one... Like, the first couple Christmases, I got really lucky. Because, like, the first Christmas when I was, like, 5, when we were in the new house in town, basically, I got a couple of Knights Kingdom 1 sets that had... There were, like, a series of 4 sets that all had a different silver armor. Like, a helmet, a sword, chrome silver... And I got the one with the sword and the one with the shield. No one else has these sets. And those set me off a path of loving Chrome and KK1, and specifically loving Princess Storm's minifig, and Gilbert, and Weasel, and Hurrah, and everything. And then the next year after that, I got a larger adventure set that had a Stegosaurus, a Triceratops, and like all the villains with the vehicle, which no one else had. I was the only one who had Mr. Cunningham and a Stegosaurus. But like pretty much after those first couple years, anything I got pretty much was just like... underwhelming to what other people got. But I also didn't pay attention to what other people got in those earlier years too. But
looking back at my childhood birthdays, a lot of these sets, still stand out as very dear to me, like Amazon Crossing. That is probably hands down my favorite character I've ever made.
Remind me which one Amazon Crossing is again.
It's got a crocodile. Go on the outback.
I haven't heard you
refer to... It's called Amazon...
I haven't heard you refer to Greenie set as Amazon Crossing in, like, ever.
I'm trying to talk to the normies here.
I mean, who knows? They'll even know what we're talking about when we say that one.
Someone might know what Amazon Crossing is, but no one will know when I say Greenie set.
No, how one will.
Okay, point taken. That's like half our audience.
See, General Pitbull, we have some very interesting names.
Well, the minifig was called Greenie because he had a green shirt and green pants.
We weren't very inventive people.
No.
But it's like
that's near and dear to my heart.
And then
obviously the year before that, the pirate ship that I mentioned, it started in Path of Pirates. Next year, 2 adventure sets, Johnny and the Baron.
Classic. I mean, you got the hero and the villain, both of the mode of transportation. What more can you ask for?
The
only thing that was negative between those 2 sets was the Baron didn't have his hat, I believe.
He didn't have a pith helmet. No, he had a pilot helmet, and that always bugged me for many years because my Baron just never was as cool as other Barons.
How did you end up getting a helmet for him?
I think...
Is that just from HAL 1 or was it an accessory set?
An accessory set from either HAL 1 or Myth?
Because
Mithra and I got... Because I know Mithra and I got a headgear accessory set.
Yeah, I have a lot of those hairs now, by the way. They were just left in the leftover parts after we all built our sets, and no one ever claimed any of that
stuff. It definitely was a helmet that I think came from an older sibling, but I can't remember.
No.
Year after that, I got Gas and Go Flyer. That one's not as near and dear to my heart, but it still has a very.
I would say that started a little bit of that helped your Octane love because after getting Slick Racer and then that,
Well, Slick Racer was another gift for a St. Nicholas Day present. Yes, it's Octan.
but now you have another Octane, a set with an Octane little gas car and an Octane employee.
And even the pilot, he's basically part of my
Plus, let's be honest,
camera crew.
that minifig became the minifig who came up with the term Wingardium, or what was the spell?
Expecto Petroleum.
Expecto Petroleum, yes. That's the best thing to come out of that set. It was the fact that minifig came up with that.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
And it goes on in a couple years. Yeah, I got Temple of Mount Everest. It's definitely one of my favorite adventure sets.
Did you get the re-release of the Garden in the year before that, or was that something you purchased?
No, it was a birthday present, I believe, the year before.
Because was that the same year that Zacta got the Shell gas car wash?
Possibly, because
those are both from the
it was
same
re-released
year.
in 2002, but I believe I got it in 2003. Temple
Well,
Mount Everest released in 2003, and I believe I got it in 2004.
Sounds about right. And then 2005 or 2000. When did you get Citadel
Honestly,
Warland? Was that a
I
Christmas?
bought Citadel
Okay,
Warland.
okay. I couldn't remember if that was a gift or
Pretty
not.
much after Temple of Mount Everest, my birthday gifts began to get fuzzy until 2008.
Was it your 16th?
I did get the scroll.
I know you got it for your 16th birthday.
There was a Mars mission set.
I thought you got Nader because you can now have a vehicle, or was that your 17th, where they basically got you some equipment for your car and then the larger.
That would have been my
Nader.
17th birthday because I got So I guess
That was the last one because I remember that was a
Yeah.
weird exception. He's like, hold on, he gets Lego for his birthday again. See, for me, birthday Lego does not hold nearly as much of a strong, because my first birthday Lego was a Lego Dimetrodon. Now that over like earlier years was always special, but it was never anything crazy. It was just the Lego Dimetrodon. It was cute. And it's later on become like I had the full series of those dinosaurs by other. I didn't go on my way to get most of them. They kind of just dropped on my lap, and then I decided to adopt them as my theme. But the dinosaurs I've always liked, and the Dimetrodon because of that.
it's not a real dinosaur, but
Exactly, it's not a dinosaur, but for all intents and purposes, don't at me nerds, it's a dinosaur. And so I had an affinity for that. But then the year after that, I got Pontoon Plane, which had Harry Kane, which is one of my more classic minifigs. And
you also have those
however, I've got that ninja minifigure set, which I would say is one of the most forgotten old Lego sets of mine because it was my only ninja set. They had no cards, no weapons, or they had no buildings.
It was a classic minifigure
I just
set.
had 5 minifigs. That's all my ninja theme had for such a long time that they were so boring. I'm like, what do I do with my ninjas? They have no buildings, no nothing. They got overshadowed.
We're also just not really, huge fans of that type of.
Let's be honest. We preferred
culture?
medieval, like European medieval knights compared to like
Japanese
like medieval. And I've grown to really like samurai and ninjas and all that, but it was still. I also like pirates over ninjas. So I'm just not a fan of ninjas in general. Despite really liking Ninjago.
Ninjas are cool, but pirates are cooler.
Yeah, and then after that, I remember. I think my 7th birthday, I got a cop car and then triple robot set.
The robot set.
The robot set was cool. The cop car was nice, but I'm like, do you see those built today?
Nope.
Exactly.
I think you have more fondness for the robots.
Oh, much more fondness for robots. I've always had a fondness for robots, and I think that set specifically helped because even about 5 years or several years later, I got a
it's
newer
not a set you
3 robot set.
You wouldn't have gone out and bought that set. No.
I was really happy I had it though because those robots were odd. The yellow dude was way too cool for his own good. Because there was a yellow, a green, and a red robot. The red robot always looked fat because I had a paunch on his belly. The green was the slow guy who couldn't fly. But then you had the yellow guy
who
could
was
rocket
badass,
cool. He had the
cool
sword.
guy.
I'm not sure that was actually supposed to be a sword, but it looked like a sword. He was cool. But after that, birthday gifts, I know I got the second version of the Night Bus for a birthday gift. That was the last Lego birthday gift I got from our dad because that was the one after our mom had passed away, and it was kind of one last kind of camping trip as a family that we could
Oh, you would have been about 16 then.
Pretty much. But at that point, it was kind of at the age where we weren't getting it, and it was kind of that trip felt very much just kind of relive your childhood one last time. got that, and I got also believe the Pirates of the Caribbean Captain's Cabin,
That is a great set,
and
by the way.
I believe the Flying Mummy, like the Flying Mummy attack from Pharaoh's. I believe I got all three of those because yeah, no, the two of them, the two larger ones I got, or two of them I got like before we went on the trip on my actual like my birthday celebration at home, and then when we went on the trip, my birthday was there, and then I got at least the third one for that. Oh gosh, yeah, that was a purple gift, so.
Listening to Onvermel reminisce about his childhood.
But then I think as well, one of my Black's encounters was technically a belated birthday gift from Hal 1. Or at least I think it was claimed as that.
It was a gift from him.
Yes, that was one of the best gifts ever. He just got me. I don't know
Hal
if
1 on occasion did,
he was
randomly give us some gifts.
when he would find a Lego set he had in the closet sitting around for who knows how long.
Well, at one point he gave me a King Leo. It was my second copy of King Leo. It comes with King Leo, a horse, a
And
tower, and a soldier.
Well, a Sir John and Man, which we call hurrahs.
And I thought it was, okay, cool. What do I have to do? What do I have to do with kings? And then he just, told me to switch on some minifig parts, and now I have
3 soldiers.
3 soldiers and this king elsewhere.
Howard was very good at
I don't remember what he got the rest of you guys.
See, well, I don't think he got anything from me then, because the only time
I'm pretty sure he did.
There's 2 things I remember. There's 2 times that he got me a Lego set. One was when he got me Final Duel 2 with Darcius and Vader.
Maybe that was it.
No, you had gotten some. I swear you got something else when I got that though. Maybe it was that because I don't remember because that was about 2000.
Those are both 2002,
2003 when we got them, I think. Maybe it was that. But the other one,
same time era,
and then
so it probably is.
The Vlad encounter, I don't remember why. I don't know if he felt bad because Daniel and him both got like a couple copies, and I'm just like going, I want my purple minifig. I was like,
well, let's just say this.
I was very sad. Paul was pissed that they both got purple before me. Yeah. Very, very annoying. I was like, I want the purple knight first. You guys got the purple knight. I mean, they didn't care about the purple knight. They cared about the big saddle and the cool evil knight.
And maybe the catapult.
So I don't know if Howard just felt a little bit sorry for me, or he just felt unusually generous that time, or a little bit.
It may have just been a case of just Paul wants a purple knight. Let's get him a purple knight because he can't afford it. Will be nice.
I mean, because I think he got that one right before my birthday. Because after my birthday, I got my second copy with my birthday money. Because I just remember getting them both relatively close in time together. And then another birthday gift that I got was the Brown Roxy from you.
Yes.
I don't know if it was intended to be a birthday gift or just close enough that you just said it was a birthday gift. I don't know what happened.
It was basically a birthday gift.
It was so random. Because you on I would say historically weren't the type to.
I'm not a gift giver, no.
But it was just so out of the blue that just all of a sudden, Eck got me here a Roxy, which was really cool because mine had a CD in it. I was the only person who ever got a Roxy with a CD-ROM in it, which always gave that a little bit of cooler.
I wonder where I got this $10 from.
I mean, it was just your birthday a month before.
Yes, but how come I didn't spend this $10 on myself?
Lawn mowing, maybe? I've done lawn mowing or some chore for someone.
I bet you lawn mowing was probably more.
Paper out, too.
No.
You were biking there, so you would have had a paper out by then. 2003? Wouldn't you not have started the paper out?
I was 11 years old.
Pretty sure you had the paper out when you were 11. You might have only had it for, like, the start in the summer, but I kind of felt like you would have had paper out.
My memory's pretty fuzzy.
I don't know. For whatever reason, you ended up spending some of your cold, hard cash on your younger brother, which still baffles me. I mean,
this is from the same person who decided to split a $6 set the same year.
Yeah.
I just scrounged up $6. I only had 4.
You couldn't wait till your next allowance.
Hook this little Paul in.
I believe what happened though was when basically you owed me. Basically, you got the rest from me. What would happen was we went back to the store we got it from. And he basically covered the rest of the cost for a micro snow speeder and scout walker. Because I believe that basically because you went there to grab your second copy, basically of the little set that we split, and then basically I picked that up and you covered the rest of like the extra $2 or something. It's one of those weird little memories that I remember. Birthday money, of course, was always a fun time too. But like when our Christmas presents, that was a whole different box because you would get several sets, you'd have a whole games involved, like with just the Christmas people. They would have this kinship to them. But
Basically, you would play with your Christmas Lego and then integrate it with the rest of your
yes.
collection.
Well, Christmas Lego, Christmas toys,
Except maybe a couple Christmas, a couple of other Legos you had out and anticipating.
Did you say Legos?
I may have.
How dare you call yourself a Lego nerd? But like, the thing about Christmas presents is there will be one that'll stand almost as tall as all the other. Because as I mentioned before, the Nice Skin 1 sets from like early part of my life, those ones, like any of the stuff from like first like several Christmases getting Lego, will always hold here near and dear. However, you basically blew pretty much any other Christmas present out of the water by getting me a Magcore magnetizer.
The greatest. That gift has not been surpassed by anyone to anyone.
Probably, well, I mean, that's hard to say for sure.
I don't know. I don't think anything Zach has got from anyone else will beat that Magcore magnetizer. That was also like the priciest gift I've ever given.
It was also the right time where I was still like. It was the last the second last I needed, but it was like collection. It was like one of the first I had with a box. It was in pristine condition.
I didn't cheap out. It was not the cheapest
really
one.
Did. Which the thing is, at that point of our lives, we were still pretty much cheap on bricklaying. We weren't going for like if we didn't get instructions, boo-hoo. We would try, but like we were very stingy. But you must have like started your new job like a couple years before. Like you weren't.
Well, what year did you get that?
Gosh. Because Zacta was still living at home, I think. You hadn't been working in your new job, I think, too long.
I remember I was living in that.
The basement one?
The basement room. So that was.
So it'd been 2
after
years
2000 and pretty much. Probably Christmas 2012.
So about 2 years in, probably, or something like 1, 2 years in, 2 years.
Yeah, it was about 2 years into my job.
Which is weird because I'm like, even then, it's like that. I mean, let's be honest. This Onvermel has been forever thankful about that gift, and that's definitely not a set that's gone any cheaper. We can tell you that. And even that Christmas was really because I also got the City of Atlantis from the Atlantis theme, which was an amazing set. I got the second rendition of this Desert Skiff, which at that point was like the newest way to get the new Boba Fett. It was a really nice Desert Skiff too, by the way. And then I got this tiny little fireman set, Plink. Now, if you want to find the best, some of the best Christmas presents, the easiest ones to remember for me were Bionicle sets, because the only Bionicle sets I usually got for Christmas that I remember were the small sets and stockings.
Pretty much all my Titans from back in the day were Christmas gifts.
I had
Makuta, Gadunka, Toe of Life, and I'm pretty sure those boxes still have the discount. No, Axon.
Well, I was about to say Axon and T.O.A, I think, were the only ones you really bought back in the day.
Yeah, and the other ones were pretty much all Christmas gifts. So
did you buy that, or was that a gift too?
Think I bought that.
It's hazy, eh?
I
didn't get a Titan for a gift, like a present, until I got Maxios and Spinax the same year that I ended up getting a Brutaka and a Kitongu from my godmother, which was really, really good because I always wanted Brutaka, so I ended up getting that. And
Zacta was pissed.
Oh, he was annoyed that I ended up getting Brutaka. He already had one, but I'll say this: we're very protective of our characters because. The thing about Titans was there was very, very
no one else was allowed to have a Nuvok call except me.
I finally got one. It was like one of the last canister sets I got too. We still one of the few canisters I'm missing. But you imagine we swindled me out of getting a Nuvok canister like 3 times now. Or maybe twice.
Something like that.
But the thing about Titan sets were, because there was so few duplicates, there was like your character, my character. There was kind of this almost unspoken rule that you wouldn't buy one that someone else had. It was never an actual rule, but it was just kind of like, well, if you have an Axon, I don't want an Axon. I want an Umbra. You have Axon. He's got Protaka. I want an Umbra.
Well, typically we played together.
True, especially once we started on the Titan category, which at some point I'm going to have a podcast, maybe with all 3 of us, talk about the Titan category.
No, I think we need to have all 3
like I said, all 3 of us to talk about the Titan category, because that is a topic of extensive proportions.
It might have to be 2 podcasts.
But one of the best... Actually, the most valuable Christmas gifts that I've ever actually received, which at the time was highly underutilized, was T.O.A Mananui. I had gone and put on my Christmas wish list, and Zacta had gone, because this was basically right shortly after we started doing the Secret Santa. Zacta had got me that and the Zest. The Zest was the last brown Bionicle out at that point, which means I had them essentially them all, and then T.O.A Mananui. And I remember building him thinking he was ginormous. Never did anything with him because... well, I have a little man who, what do you really do with him? He's more of a display piece. And
As a character to play with, he was kind of.
and on those days, I was
eh.
almost like, he's kind of underwhelming. I'm kind of like meh about him. But now how much he goes for now, he's probably the most expensive Christmas gift I actually have. Like more so than Micro Magnetizer.
Well, you
Not
could
by terribly
probably
much.
yeah, like almost twice as.
Like Micro Magnetizer is usually like what, $400 in my condition with the box instructions probably.
I wouldn't know.
I would suspect upwards like around 300 to 400. Manui is upwards to 700.
Yeah, he's worth pretty
My
much
condition
twice.
though, I would say you bring it down.
I
a
mean,
little
you
bit.
have the box, technically speaking.
Kind of.
You have all the parts to the box.
I do have all the. No, the box is still intact. It's not in a horrible condition. It's just in.
No, I'm probably getting mixed up with your Tower of T.O.A box. One of those boxes.
Yeah, the Tower of T.O.A box, the lid just pops off. Mad News is in a slightly better shape. Tower of T.O.A is also a gift of mine that I may or may not have known about. There was also
That was the first time we opened Christmas gifts on
Christmas
Day as opposed to Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
but we were still allowed to open one gift on Christmas Eve to sort of ease the transition.
And I got Tower of T.O.A because I knew it was Tower of T.O.A.
So little Onvermel here picks the biggest thing he.
But it wasn't even wrapped. It was
tree.
just like it was this weird like zipper like wrapping thing. So it was like really weird. I'm just like, oh, with this. I'll say this. I kind of knew one of us was getting it because when we were younger, we may or may not have spied on our Christmas gift and pondered who was
One
getting
year,
it.
I was convinced I was getting the T-Rex transport that Zach ended up with. Instead, I got Bull's Attack. Right now, definitely no regrets.
I mean, you also have a Triceratops now, so it's like.
I don't know, it was all about the T-Rex.
True. I have one of those T-Rex. Those are really nice. But yeah, no, see, now, if you want to think of, that actually makes me think of that one, this Christmas that Zach got that I got my all-terrain trapper or a dinosaur trapper, whatever that says.
Oh, here we go.
And see, what happened was I was still, pretty young, and I think that same time I had asked Ek here to help me build a Borak. Okay, it was a little confusing for a really young kid for me. And I remember, I only started building this adventure set when, our dad comes in. He's like, all right, everybody go to bed. And I hadn't finished it. For whatever reason, Ek here, when I wake up to go finish this set, I'm excited. I'm like, I'm going to get up first thing in the morning. I'm going to finish building this big new set I got. It was already completed. Because for some reason, Ek finished it. I'm just assuming that you did this thinking he didn't finish it because he needed help and you're just trying to do a nice thing.
I have only a vague
Of me being annoyed at you, I think is more
memory of this. I don't really remember the exact incident at all.
See,
That's how much it affected me.
like I said, I'm assuming you must have just done it out of like trying to be nice because I needed your help with the Borak.
No, I did it out of spite, Paul. I did it out of spite.
Nah, I don't know.
I will go over to your place and find some unfinished set and just build it.
I do believe I did have you break it so I could fix it. I do kind of remember that, but I remember
that makes logical sense.
I don't think I was mad. I think I was just so confused. I was like, why? Why?
It doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, but now, I would say these last years though, Lego Christmas presents have become a lot more interesting because we've had more freedom to do. We generally go to Bricklink, and how one has been the most creative with any Christmas gifts ever given in Lego, I think, by making basically recolors of sets like a Blacktron X-wing.
That was probably the most standout gift that I'd ever received.
Way more effort was put into it than there probably needed to be.
Let's just say he had a lot of time and motivation. So he basically made a whole box, decorated a box.
He made a whole custom box, custom instructions, everything. And then he basically, because it was so popular, did similar things with me and Zach, like when he had us the next couple of years.
Okay, I think I may have just realized there is a gift that topped the Megacore Magnetizer. It was given to me.
Oh, gosh.
By the Lost T.O.A.
Was that the monorail?
Yes, it was the monorail.
That's true. The monorail, at least for just worth and just like pure like power.
The pure shock and utter just shock that I got because the Lost T.O.A. had found the monorail. No, the set doesn't have monorail. The town monorail set.
Airway transport.
I don't know.
Something transport.
The town monorail set. He found it at the local thrift store for $40.
It was in really good condition
and basically, when he got it, he's like, I'll keep it for now, and if I get someone for Christmas, I'll give it. Lucky me, I was the lucky guy. So I got the
I
super hard.
I'm still waiting for my turn to get lucky with the Lost Toa, because I believe Zacta got a Sausage Centurion. But no, that monorail honestly though was definitely one of the just luckiest finds and just most like
Certainly
valuable
the
valuable Lego gifts.
best Lego gift I've gotten as an adult.
I would definitely say that the Mega Magnetizer was like and the Manual were the two best Lego gifts. Were they the most exciting? Hard to say because some of those early years when you're a kid, things are just more exciting. Like getting a chrome
I don't
shield.
know.
Getting that chrome Bull Knight shield though. And Princess Stone because I got a Eurovisor before you did, and I love that fact. As a kid. I beat you by a year.
Yes. And yet it was my castle that broke it.
Your
Coincidence?
Fisher Price castle broke my Eurovisor. You know, I kind of though that gave her so much, I would say, extra spite on character. But yeah,
Some good came out of it.
and then there are those few occasions where. But the thing about Lego gifts, like for the most part, though, it was only ever family. I almost have never gone Lego from someone. And like my best friend, he never gave me Lego for a gift. Even like my other close friends, I've never gone Lego as a gift. But
I have a few gifts. Like I can remember once getting a Galley Nuva from my godparents, which are
the first
just
Toa
my
Nuva in the
aunt.
family.
I was quite excited about that.
Where
I
do
also
you-
got some gummies.
What I vaguely
that was
remember, 'cause
equally exciting.
I remember this because I remember you how they were connected to each other. I remember you feeling the bag saying, "I think this is a Toa Nuva," because you could kind of feel the top
Oh
of
yes,
the
there was a
lid.
box of gummies and a Toa Nuva
That
in
box
one
of
package.
gummies, that box is still around.
I still have that box, and I miss those gummies every day. Those are the greatest gummies.
I don't think they're as good as we think they are, probably.
No, probably not. But when you're a 10-year-old kid, they are the greatest.
You got
thing
your own
ever.
gummies. Actually, that reminds me, this is not a Lego gift, but one of the best gifts I ever got. And this was the most weird one ever. Is one year from from our parents, I got a 12 case of root beer.
A&W
Root beer was the best. And then from my godmother, I got a 12 case of Coke. And for whatever, I don't know what everybody decided to give me pop for that year, but I loved it because I just got my own supply of pop that no one else could have, and I could just have whatever I wanted. That lasted me a good couple weeks. It was great. Like, I've never been so excited for something so mundane as getting pop for Christmas. But it's those ones where it's like, also our mom like knew I really liked A&W and loved the root beer. They was like, and then it's gifts like that you can tell when someone truly like cares about it and knows you, where they know like what.
When you're excited about something, it's mundane.
It's
and
like
root
it's like
beer.
something you never knew you wanted, or you never would have asked for, but you love that you got it.
Like actually, it was like last year, I believe. My fiance at the time, now wife, got me a custom-made hat with the Black Sean
That
logo
was
on it.
awesome.
That was completely like it wasn't
surprise.
on. It wasn't on my list.
I had no clue about this.
But she
That was pretty sick. That was
pretty epic.
Yeah, and then but like I said, it's pretty much just family, friends and family never got it. But you know what? I never held that against them. That's fine. Lego.
No friends have ever got me Lego. Wait, I don't
When
have
someone
friends.
has so much Lego that you don't know what to get them, that's usually where.
Any
it comes in.
Lego's fine. That's the thing.
But people still want to be like, I want to get something you haven't had yet or something. You never know because the gift giver's perspective is always going to be different. But needless to say, getting free Lego is always a treat. And the funny thing is, even after making Magnetizer, the last time you started missing, you also ended up getting me.
I'm very good at that.
That was a very interesting Christmas because that was like a much smaller scale down.
Getting Onvermel wheeled
And-
Emertron vehicles for Christmas.
Yes. But that was also the one where How One got you basically just like a collection of like early 2000s and like late 90s sets because it was cheap on one side and you was just able to get a bunch of variety.
Which was cool because it
But the sets you didn't have, a bit of nostalgia in all the
added
sets.
to some armies. Just that
like-
was a fun. It had just a fun little play around tournament game with them too.
I always liked getting variety in the stuff. I'm trying to think what like the last Lego I've been gifted that wasn't like the keychain from like yesterday. Because like I said, I don't get gifted Lego from like outside of the family. Inside the family is pretty much like you, How One, and Zach are the only ones that are going to give me Lego. Unless like Mithra or the Seventh Toe randomly come across something that's like, you know what?
Well, I
There's
think you could
exceptions.
probably lump,
There's exceptions for like same with the Lost. So like for the other half, assuming there's exceptions where they might. but they're not going to go out of the way.
Yeah, there's the one half where, oh, they have me for Christmas, I'm getting Lego.
Well, I
And
believe
there's your half, well,
how one
I'm
I think
not
will
getting
even
Lego.
ask for a Brickling list for like Brickling sets that you might want, or he'll accept a
Well,
Brickling
technically
list.
speaking, the one year How One's wife got me for Christmas and I got Lego, but clearly How One had a lot of influence in what I got.
Well, yes, that's
But
the
it's
same
kind
for
of
me.
obvious. When you don't know the significant other that well, you just ask the person you do know well.
Pretty much. Well, like your now wife, I know like the first year that she was like living in the same town as us, basically, she was like asking me for. I don't think she actually took much of my advice. She kind of figured it out on her own, but I remember it was like, okay, well, it was like, of these sets, what does he have? What doesn't he have? And I'm like, well, he's got most of these, but I don't think I mind getting a second copy of this one or this one. I don't remember what the
There are
sets
some
were
sets I
anymore.
would love to get a second copy of, but I don't get them for Christmas, and I get disappointed because I
Very
got this set I
sad.
didn't have. I wanted the set I did have.
They went and said I see that is a exact thing of getting the sets he did have. He got there was a phase like his tweens where for some reason he just kept getting duplicates through his life. Like the amount of duplicates that he ended up getting gifted was quite a few. But they often like these gifts would happen the same year. Like he would get a gift from this person and this person. They saw him to be the same. But I think we joked a lot.
Zack Tag got more Lego from
His godparents.
non-family members.
Actually, no, I was wrong. I have gone Lego for my godparents a couple times. Usually, I didn't get much gifts from them for the most part, but like in later years, I generally got Transformers. Not only because I think they like their kids, I think were into Transformers and such and stuff that they were familiar with, but I was getting into it. I was actually introduced by Transformers by them way before I knew what it was, and so later years, I got. I think I got like a cup, and I did get actually those when I was talking about the Dimetrodon. The out of the four cancer sets, I got randomly as a gift from them. And then my godmother, I guess, actually did because she worked at a thrift store, so every now and then I would actually get some just Lego from it. That only happened a couple times, which I mean that got me that set me on the path of making white castles. Because at that point, I didn't have like almost diddly squat gray, but I had enough white I could actually scrounge a castle in one color. And to this day, I still make white castles. Although I've also learned that white castles is also a more realistic concept than my younger brain ever thought. So, that helps too. But yeah, but rounding out probably at the end of this, if you were to basically handpick your favorite Lego Christmas gift and like basically one that you'd want this year. Doesn't matter what it is.
If someone were to give me a set,
Yeah.
I would really like a Scorpion Prison Cave.
That doesn't surprise me. I did not get that for Christmas, but I did own that, and it was like one of the last KG2 sets you're missing. If like, well, that and the
I'd settle for Knight's Castle Wall as a consolation prize.
It's a consolation prize. It's kind of boring of the two. It doesn't have a damn therefore it's lame. See, if I were to like want a Christmas gift, I'd be like, you know what? I think I'd probably settle on still like one of the last two Rock Raider sets I'm missing. I've been holding out and getting those kind of like off for a while, and I would definitely, that'd be really nice. Although I'm pretty sure but at the same time, I also probably would buy those on my own time. Then, I could find plenty of stuff I'd really like, but a lot of the things at this point, a lot of stuff I've already gone. But I'd definitely say out of all the years, I think still one of my favorite Christmas presents, this is the one that has the largest impact in my life, has been that
Those two nice
games, which I know one's Rebel Chariot, I believe.
I believe so.
But I don't.
The other one I think is just Knight's Catapult.
Knight's Catapult and Rebel's Chariot, I believe. Those two sets set me on a path of not only loving KK1, but specifically loving Chrome and Lego. I've become a bit of a Chrome fanatic in Lego, and I can get very possessive of my Chrome and very possessive of other people look at my Chrome and have Chrome. So, but that has basically I'm like, I actually have a sealed copy of one of those two sets just as a, because I wanted, and I finally got the other two copies of those sets like quite a few years later, but those sets will go down probably as history as the sets that I'm most proud, like some of the most sets I'm proud to own, and sets that I'm still the only one who has I'm the only one who owns any of those sets, which I'm very happy about. So yeah, in conclusion.
So you, the audience,
yes.
What Lego would you want for Christmas?
We're almost talking to you, Howell, because you're the only one who's really going to listen to this and
but if anyone wants to randomly Anyone?
Yeah,
come to
General,
us?
General Pitbull, if you're still listening to these, you've gone Lego for Ghost. You tell us too. Everyone tell us. So,
Assuming you've stuck around this far.
exactly. But thanks for listening, anyone, and we'll catch you on the flip flop. And we are retiring from the night.